Hi there, welcome back to the Boise YouTube channel. So this is going to be a video for, once again, my UF class, the History of Identity. Make sure to read the fine print because it says also becoming a YouTuber. So I'm going to be talking about doing history. I am reading off something because there's no way I was going to memorize all of this. So the first idea that I came up with is evidence is important. I said that evidence is important in knowing about history or doing history because a lot of information can come from one piece of evidence and or artifact. So artifacts can vary from clothing, books, papers, anything like that. And it kind of helps historians get a better idea of what went on during a certain time period. So we'll take, for example, in the 1940s, if they wanted to know what fashion was in the 1940s, they could use artifacts and evidence such as coats, socks, shoes, hairstyles, hats, anything that they wore in the 1940s to kind of help put pieces together to understand what they wore. And then the second idea that I came up with was the 12 C's in history. The 12 C's are change over time, context, causality, contingency, complexity, competition, chronology, citations, conjecture, characters, continuity, and certainty and uncertainty. So change over time is looking at growth, decay, and continuity, pretty much just kind of putting pieces together of how we went from one point to another point. Context is using what you know about the time frame to understand what happened. So obviously in the Civil War, to understand it, we'd have to kind of draw back to what caused it. Causality would be looking and understanding why an event occurred. So pretty much the cause of it. Contingency would be how historians are concerned at times with what might have happened. So if we're kind of unclear on a certain time frame, you can use kind of context and everything to kind of draw a conclusion of what might have happened. Complexity would be distill evidence to make sense of meaning of history's complexity. Competition would be completing narratives and essential to historical thinking, which pretty much just means comparing different evidence. Chronology would be a greater sense of order. So putting things in time frame, putting things in order of which they happened. Citations would be being concerned with authenticity. I can't speak today. And trustworthiness of a source that they are provided. Conjecture, meaning a case by argument points. Characters, meaning emphasizes the characters in history to better understand them. Continuity, which means looking at changes in history. And certainty or uncertainty, which means history will always hold a form of uncertainty, but historians like to rely on the premises of uncertainty. So that is it for my UF submission.